When you first look at the flag of Greenland, it seems so simple, right? Just two colors, one circle. But wow, behind that quiet, minimal design is this profound story about identity, about history, and about a nation defining itself against the vast, icy landscape of the Arctic.
So let's get right to it. To really understand this flag, we have to start with the one question that gets right to the heart of its identity. Why is it the only Nordic flag, you look at Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Iceland, that doesn't feature the traditional Nordic cross? The answer reveals a very deliberate choice to forge a unique path.
To figure out why Greenland broke from that tradition, we've got to rewind the clock a bit. We're going back to a time when Greenland didn't even have its own flag, and its identity was completely wrapped up with that of a European power.
So for literally centuries, we're talking since the 1700s, Greenland was governed by Denmark. It wasn't until the mid-20th century that this idea of a distinct Greenlandic identity really started to build momentum. This all led to a huge political milestone in 1979, the achievement of Home Rule, which gave Greenland way more autonomy. But one crucial symbol was still missing.
Think about it. During that whole long period of Danish governance, there was only one flag you'd ever see flying over Greenland, the Danish flag, the Dannebrog. It was the symbol on every official building, from trading posts to churches. In short, Greenland had no visual identity of its own. To the rest of the world, it was represented entirely by Denmark.
That push for home rule really forced the issue. This question of identity was suddenly front and center. And that's when, in the 1980s, Greenland started this amazing public process to create a symbol that would finally represent their people and their land.
And this is where it gets really fascinating, because two main ideas came to the surface. One idea was to create a flag with a Nordic cross, to visually connect Greenland to its Scandinavian neighbors. The other option? Create something completely new, a design that would signal cultural distinction and celebrate Greenland's unique Inuit heritage. The nation was at a real crossroads. Should it emphasize its Nordic ties or its unique Arctic identity?
Ultimately, the decision came down to one powerful guiding principle. Greenland's flag should reflect Greenland, not its rulers or its neighbors. It needed to be a mirror of the land and its people. And, well, that's exactly the path they chose.
And so, in 1985, it happened. Greenland officially adopted its current flag. It's known as Urfilasiput, which simply means our flag. So let's break down how this beautifully simple design is actually a brilliant depiction of the Greenlandic landscape.
Okay, the symbolism starts with the colors. That huge white band at the top, that represents the massive ice sheet, the glaciers that cover about 80% of the island. It's the defining feature of the environment. The red band at the bottom symbolizes the ocean, but it also represents the sun and the warmth of life you find in a harsh climate.
But the most powerful element, really, is that split circle. It's such a beautifully simple illustration of the sun. That's the red upper half, just beginning to rise over the white horizon of the ice sheet. It captures a specific, perfect moment in an Arctic day, and it symbolizes the cycles of nature and that balance between the land and the sea.
And this right here is what makes it so unique. While most national flags use political or religious symbols, crosses, stars, eagles, Greenland's flag is a landscape painting. It's a direct representation of its own geography and environment, which is an incredibly powerful statement all by itself.
All right, so what does this flag, born from a search for identity, represent for Greenland today? Let's explore its meaning here in the 21st century.
Today, the flag is a hugely powerful symbol of Greenlandic autonomy and its distinct indigenous Inuit identity. It represents the resilience of a people thriving in the Arctic, and it's the symbol of a modern nation that's navigating the complex worlds of ancient tradition and modern geopolitics.
You'll often see the Greenlandic flag flying right alongside the Danish flag. This visual pairing just perfectly captures the current relationship. There's a continued connection to Denmark for sure, but with a distinct identity that speaks clearly and powerfully in its own voice. In the end, the flag of Greenland is so much more than just a national symbol. It's a masterclass in visual storytelling. And it leaves us with one fascinating question, doesn't it? How can a design that looks so simple tell such a complex and powerful story of a nation claiming its own unique place in the world?